Hey, everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 20.
Okay, Coach. Well, we are about a $50 cab ride away from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one between the New Orleans Saints and the New York Jets. He won't go down. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
The Jets take over first and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
So first and 10 now from the 30.
That's right, baby.
They'll run here with a former Steeler. This is Le'Veon Bell. Le'Veon Bell, it's a foot race. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Le'Veon Bell, 70 yards. And the Jets have taken a first-quarter lead.
You know, as a head coach, you can't hide everything from your team. They know that people think that they're not supposed to be on the field with them. So they designed a heck of a game plan, didn't they? Nice fast start, get out after them, and maybe let everyone know that they're here to compete.
And get this home crowd behind them early as well.
Yeah, that's a huge part of it, isn't it? Because if you get the home crowd involved, sometimes you can ride that wave, and that gives you a little added pep.
Now Catanzaro after the touchdown to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So Brees going to lead the Saints up here first and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Here's Brees to throw. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. He was trying to get it that time to Ted Ginn. That'll bring up second down. Charles, already trailing by touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Here's Brees. Cook with a first down and much more. And he finds Cook. And finally brought down right at the midfield stripe. It'll go as a gain of 25 on a play that started back at the 25.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him old. Now Brees lost the football. And it's scooped up by the Jets. The 30. And he takes it to the house. It's a fumble recovery for a Jet touchdown. It gives some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever.
So 2 successful 2-point tries now for them.
And you know what it does? It gives you a boost, a huge one for your team because, hey, you're dominating them now. They can't stop you either scoring touchdowns or 2-point conversions. But how about the defense? You don't know what to do at this stage. You can't stop them in any direction.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Good work after the catch. Going to net them 23 and a first.
Come on, one thing for sure. You know that Michael Thomas is going to be the target on a 3rd down pass, and Drew Brees finds him and keeps this drive moving.
Jordan Jenkins there on the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move.
And Kamara has it stripped, and it's scooped up by the Jets. not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. A good display of power, but it will only get him just inside the 5 to the 4. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
All right, Brad, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
Taking it in from 4 yards out, and the Jets find a way to stretch their lead. Now, first quarter, and this lead is already getting into dangerous territory. They better be careful on the other sideline.
Yeah, it feels a little bit more like a basketball game where one team is pressing, and that team can't get the ball over half court. I mean, they're stealing it and scoring it, layups, the whole deal. That's what it feels like right now. They are all over them.
Now Catanzaro after the touchdown to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
It shows you right there. He can do more than just cover in the secondary from that free safety position.
Yeah, the evolution of position has really been significant, hasn't it? Because a lot of teams no longer have a free safety, strong safety designation. They just have safeties. So wherever the ball is...
Now Breeze wants the football. And fortunately for him, he's able to get it back, but it will be a loss on the play.
Well, that was a big oops right there. But how about his ability to correct it? Loses the football, able to get it back himself.
Yeah, pounced right back on it, keeps possession. Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. New York set to take the field. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Darnold going to lead the Jets up now, 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. They can't tackle him. Le'Veon Bell, kiss him goodbye. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Le'Veon Bell with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And this Jets offense continues to pour it on. Here's Chandler Catanzaro for the extra point. And oh, he takes off with it. It's a fake. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Now Catanzaro after the touchdown to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little game.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and failing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And he's got this down to the 35. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
To the right side and complete to Thomas. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line.
Now that was well defended, and as a cornerback, what you're taught when you see a wide receiver screen, either you get underneath the play before the blocking forms, or you're going to have to...
Now Breeze lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. More problems here on third down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on third down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
Let's go.
That would have been from way downtown. Pretty big roll of the dice, and he comes up a bit short.
Yeah, you knew when you saw the holder setting up on the other side of the 50 that this was going to be a long shot. But to me, there's really no loss here because you've shown confidence in him. Kicking it from a long distance, that'll pay dividends. And the miss, you can shake that one off. He wasn't likely to make it.
And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. Le'Veon Bell on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And this Jet offense starting to run away with this one. This is becoming quite the half he's had here.
Remember in our pregame meetings, they talked about wanting to run the football and staying with it. Well, when you're scoring this many touchdowns, there's no reason to go away from it, is there? They are off to a fantastic start. They hope it continues.
3 already for him. And he is into the end zone again. So get him some oxygen. He scores on the long run and then punches in the 2-point conversion for good measure. Now Catanzaro after the touchdown to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. Alvin Kamara and the Saints set to start their next drive. He's just been looking for some space. I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
A boost here to start the drive after the penalty. It's 1st and 5.
Get that ball. Get that ball.
Shotgun now for Breeze. And this is a catch by Ted Ginn. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 9 yards that time.
In his 13th NFL season now, Ted Ginn, still a reliable target for Drew Brees. 787 yards in 2017, just 5 games last year due to injuries, but he still has the wheels.
Not able to go anywhere that time. Second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. And he went in route there from the slot for the completion.
Love how he runs his routes because it's all setting up your defender. Give him a little something one way, take it the other way. Head and shoulder fake. Sometimes you make one step to the outside, then break it inside. Really well-run route.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
That's it, baby. We don't work.
And we put our focus now on Le'Veon Bell. Might he be on his way to a record-setting performance here, Charles? Second quarter, and the yardage number already ridiculous.
And they always talk about just focusing on the next play. But sometimes it's okay to dream big because
I'm focusing on the fourth quarter already.
Listen, I don't blame you, though, because we could be witnessing some type of history here, and it's being done by him and, of course, the big guys up front who are creating the holes for him to run through.
Yeah, they've all been good so far. Le'Veon Bell, it's a foot race. And Bell works his way in for a Jets touchdown. Le'Veon Bell on his way to a historic performance, 4 first-half touchdowns. And this Jets offense continues to pour it on. Now Adam Gase has put a pair of fingers up in the air. His offense is going to go for 2. To throw is Darnold. His pass caught at the 4. And this time he'll be stopped short of the goal line. He might have been out of gas after the long run. In any event, the try for 2 fails. Now Catanzaro after the touchdown to kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will be alongside. He'll have highlights and analysis from Orlando of this first. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jordan Jenkins, who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Here's Thomas Morstead now, as he's on to punt for New Orleans. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Now this is fielded in the end zone. And now off to the races down the right side. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Trenton Cannon. 104 yards. And this Jet offense starting to run away with this one.
Well, it certainly feels like that kind of game, doesn't it? No matter what they do, it's going to work. That might be the absolute crusher right there. A punt return for a touchdown.
Feels like there's been a lot of crushers in this game. This lead just gets bigger. Well, we know he has home run hitting ability in the punt return department, and he showcases it there all the way back for 6. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21-yard line. The offense and Alvin Kamara heading back onto the field. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit, maybe featuring other people touching it for a while, and then you've got a chance to come back to him when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
There's still time for him here as we sit in the second quarter. And the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. And now this throw incomplete, and that is how this first half will come to an end. We now proceed to the start of the second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose...
The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. And he gets this all the way inside the Jets' 20 into the red zone.
They're still looking for their first touchdown of the game, and for a second, I thought they had it right there.
Looking on the sideline, it's finally good. Now Breeze lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry, ball gets tipped in the air, because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense. Every team we ever talk to that continues to run the ball in a game.
And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. Alvin Kamara taking it in. And the Saints are able to eat in just a bit to this sizable deficit. When you talk about a battle being won in the trenches, that touchdown right there, a lot of credit to the offensive linemen.
Yeah, when you watch them surge across the front, they really created great space for the runner to get in.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Able to power through. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Le'Veon Bell and the Jets ready to begin their next drive. I guess it kind of goes without saying at this point, but he's had a great game, as we like to say, a nose for the end zone, no doubt.
Continues to find it throughout this game, and I'm sure he's got a nice place to live. He might want to make an offer on the end zone for a second home, because that's what it's been like throughout this contest. He knows how to get there, And boy, he looks happy when he does.
He's already bought all the property in the end zone. That's the problem. He's going to sell to himself now.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
14 yards is the pickup there at a Jet first down.
I think Le'Veon Bell's now recognized mainly for his hesitation move, but he makes so many people miss. I think that's what makes him an elite runner in this league.
He's been doing that since high school when he was a... Le'Veon Bell! Kiss him goodbye! And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. Le'Veon Bell, 33 yards. And this Jets offense continues to pour it on.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
And is there bad blood here? I mean, go for two when you're up that much?
If there wasn't before, there is now. When you do that, you've just announced to everyone, you just don't care about the other side at all. All you care about is what you're doing, and they just want to pile up points.
They did. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And now the Saints get set to trot out there. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
Following the penalty, it's Kamara. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, people say bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Here's Thomas Morstead now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. This will be fielded at the 17. Look at the spin.
Balance.
It takes a touchdown-saving tackle to bring him down as he goes 32 yards on the return. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. Darnold going to lead the Jets up now, 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 48. They'll start the drive with a carry by Bell. Bell sheds him off. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. And they'll keep it on the ground with Bell. Bell sheds him off. And he breaks through another tackle.
Let's go. Let's do it.
3 quarters have come and gone. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Now they'll try the sweep with Bell. Into the secondary again. And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. From 17 yards out. And this Jet offense starting to run away with this one.
And now we've hit that stage of the game, partner, where one of our predecessors, one of the great commentators of all time, he used to sing in this situation when this game appeared to be over.
I know the fat lady's been singing for some time.
No, not her at all.
And all he takes off with it, it's a fake. And a nice little quick spin move before he's dropped. And a pretty good game. Now Catanzaro after the touchdown to kick it away. The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him and keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. Breeze going to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Cook. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way. Work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover it? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
And they go backwards here. Losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
It's a foot race. 30, 10, and it's a touchdown for the Jets. In for the score. And this Jets offense continues to pour it on. A lot of times they want this guy just to try to flip field position. He flipped it all the way into the end zone.
Yeah, the rule of thumb is can you pick up 10 yards? That's getting a first down. Instead, he takes it all the way and provides a big spark for his team.
Oh, boy, rubbing a little salt in the wound there, going for 2 up this big.
You know, there's one time when I played, Brandon, and played against a team that was just absolutely pile driving us, and they ended up going for 2 late in the game. And I asked one of the guys, why'd you do that? He said, because we wanted to win by more. That feels like that type of situation.
Wow. It could also result in a melee later, though. Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here, and with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys.
They'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack. Jordan Jenkins in there to get him again. That is sack number 6, one off the NFL record of 7.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation.
And he's going to go down again. Jordan Jenkins in there for the 7th time in this game alone, and that ties him with the late Derek Thomas for the most sacks ever in a single game.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go. An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Darnold going to lead the Jets up now, 1st and 10, right at the 50-yard line. Bell fights free yet again. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult. Le'Veon Bell Oh, it's a foot race. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Well, I'm just not sure what more we can say about him after that one.
But we're certainly going to give it a try, aren't we? Because I believe we're watching greatness personified. It has not mattered all game long where they've handed him the football. He's taken it and found the end zone. He is so locked into that so-called zone, I don't think they're going to get him out of it in this one.
Now Catanzaro after the touchdown to kick it away. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Breeze now to throw. Now Breeze lost the football. And fortunately, he's able to reel it back in, but it's going to go down as a big loss here on the play. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
And he's not able to get away. He is stopped well short of a first down. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
Check, 47. We got to get the ball. D, get the ball right here. Let's go.
Now a first down carry by Bell. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
I've got an idea. Let's skip racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go to the post-game press conference. I have a feeling that the quarterback of this winning team is going to be giving a whole lot of credit to the running game and the offensive line.
Yeah, I was just going to say the offensive line, yes, carrying the ball has been key, but those guys up front, they've made a lot of space. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. Here's Bell, and that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.